Hello YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. And yes, I have my lighting, and yes, I have my fan. And look, we have Sekhmet, who's no longer a kitten. Isn't she gorgeous? She's so beautiful. I still remember when I was younger and I used to watch All in the Family. Every once in a while, Edith Bunker would say, beautiful. And it just stuck with me. Isn't she just gorgeous? Look at her. Look at how gorgeous and beautiful she is. It's so cute. Anyway, so it is my pleasure to welcome you to the March 2026 entry of Llewellyn's 2026 Tarot Calendar. Here we have the front. Here we have the back. Front. Back. Vanna is still safe at her job. And here we have for March 2026. And yes, there is a spread. So let me read to you first about the Temperance card from the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. And then I will read to you about mixing the liquids. So, with one foot firmly on land and the other floating on water, although it's actually in the water as opposed to floating on top of the water, but I digress. The angel reminds us we exist in many worlds all at once. To bring balance, each self must receive our attention and respect. I cannot help but think about the first time I learned the term intersectionality. I knew instinctively what it meant. I knew it instinctively. By the way, traditionally, the Temperance card is a figurative representation of Archangel Michael, the divine protector of the archangels. The Justice card is a literal representation of Archangel Michael. Okay. Mixing the liquids. Binary thinking can keep us locked in rigid ideas of all or nothing, action or restraint. We are capable of many different responses, and the reader's goal is to identify the appropriate response for each moment. In spite of being a gay man, and in spite of having met people who are non-binary, as well as read about non-binary people, sometimes I don't quite understand. Sometimes I have a little bit of difficulty, like catching on. And I say that because I do believe it's important for me as a gay man to be transparent about these things. But it's also a reminder for me that I'm willing to learn more, that I'm willing to continue learning about the different members of my community. And the fact of the matter is that non-binary people are not new. I still remember participating in a workshop on gay archetypes, one of the best workshops in which I've participated in my entire life, I must say. And some of the archetypes included two-spirit people. Two-spirit people are First Nation or Native American people who are usually queer, but they are people that in their respective First Nation communities do not do what is traditionally expected of their gender. And I've always found it fascinating that even before I ever knew about two-spirit people, how in my life, I will wear something that is a man's garment, and I'll wear something that's a woman's garment. The vest that I'm wearing underneath this poncho is a man's garment. It's marketed as a man's garment. This poncho is marketed as a woman's garment. And I've been doing this for years, and I didn't think anything of it because, why would I? But I digress. So, since I do not have the Rider-Waite, actually I do have a Rider-Waite-Smith, but it's one that I do not use. It was actually a gift from somebody who'd had a reading with me, and it had belonged to her mother, who had died. And I always found it fascinating that here was this person who barely knew me a month, and they were having their very first reading with me, and they gave me a deck that belonged to their mother, one that this person never used. And I never saw that person again. And in case you're wondering if there was any bad juju attached to it, it's been eradicated. I don't think there was, because I can tell you my life partner is a very powerful and very talented witch, and he would know. He would know. If I didn't, he would. If I didn't know, he would definitely know. But again, I digress. And yes, there is a spread. The head, heart, and hands spread. Now, of course, at some point, Sekhmet, oops, I started to say Durga, but I meant Sekhmet. And Sekhmet gave me a look like, what was that? What was that sound? At some point, Sekhmet is going to need to go. I love how she just grabbed my hand with her right Miss Thing, claws, or you'll have to vacate sooner. You know what? You're vacating sooner. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I love you, but no, you gotta go. I love you, but you gotta go. Because now you're whatever. And she just came back. Of course she did. Because that's who she is. Isn't that right, little girl? Isn't that right? Yes, little girl. I know. I'm giving you love. Te estoy matando con amor. She's just looking at the table like, what? And now she's looking at me like, what? All right. Head, heart, and hands spread. This spread explores a single issue on 3 different levels. Mentally, the head, emotionally, the heart, and physically, the hands, the body. Giving us a multi-dimensional map of what we are experiencing and how to support all parts of ourselves. So I am happy to report that I am using a Llewellyn published tarot deck. I'm using the Everyday Witch Tarot, written by Deborah Blake, illustrated by Elizabeth Alba. And yes, in case you're wondering, I also have the Everyday Witch Oracle, and I have the Everyday Witch's Familiar Oracle as well. Okay. So, I call upon the ancestors and the spirits. I call upon the goddesses, gods, guardians, and guides. And I call upon all benevolent and beneficent elemental energies and deities and spirits to be present for the casting of these cards on behalf of the collective. May what is revealed be accurate and insightful and help people move forward and take their best step forward and move forward to where they need to go. I love you, but you're not going to stay here. All right. She doesn't know it yet. All right, I've already given the cards another shuffle. And I love you, but I need you to go. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Top row is head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Middle row is heart. 7, 8, and 9. Bottom row is hands, representing the hands and the physical, the body. And I will lay out a final message card at the end. So, head, heart, and hands spread. This spread explores a single issue on 3 different levels: mentally, emotionally, and physically, giving us a Hello, Apollo! And your timing is not good right now. But you don't care. Anyway. Giving us a multidimensional map of what we are experiencing and how to support all parts of ourselves. Cards 1, 2, 3, the head, your state of mind, strategic thinking, and divine wisdom. How should you plan and where are you headed? Cards number 4 through 6, the heart, the emotional trajectory of this issue and potential for healing. How will you feel, and how can you respond? And cards 7 through 9, the hands. The real-world actions for us to take and issues related to our bodies. What should you do, and how will you be impacted? And of course, the final message card will be like, what do we need to know right now? I love you, Apollo, but I gotta move you. I gotta move you. I gotta move you. I love you. Yes. All right. So, I'm gonna move these a little bit. And here we go. For the head, we have the 5 of Wands. We have the 10 of Cups, and we have the Page of Swords. So I felt guided and led to ask, what does the collective need to know right now? So we have the 5 of Wands, which is definitely a card that's coming up as struggle and conflict. I love how the card depicts 5 different witches and their 5 different familiars. And the 5 different witches have similar faces, similar facial expressions, and the 5 different cats are all responding differently. The old expression, too many chefs spoils the stew, too many cooks spoils the stew, too many witches not aligned spoil the spell. So I feel that whatever conflicts you are experiencing in YouTube land, is it because there is a lack of a united front? Or is it because everybody is demanding that certain things be a certain way? Or maybe you are the one, maybe you are the one demanding that things be a certain way, and your still small voice, your inner bell is saying, my beloved witch, this is not really working for you, and you know that. Why do you insist on ignoring what's right in front of you? But then we go from conflict to peace. Oh my goddess. Okay, I love you, I love you, I love you. And you know what? I think I need to have Drake assist me. Drake is more commonly known as my awesome audio-visual person for my YouTube videos. Assist me in wrangling these cats. So we have this beautiful scene on the 10 of Cups, which depicts a family. One of them is babysitting the baby, and the 2 parents are just madly in love, and they're enjoying this beautiful feast with all of these beverages, and the cats are there. There's actually 1 cat, which is kind of surprising. There are books, there's food, there's bread, there's vegetables, there's fruits. It's a beautiful day, they're in nature, it's lovely. And then we have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is a card that I have seen for years and years and years come up, either during the pre-Mercury retrograde storm, during a full-on Mercury retrograde transit, or during the post-Mercury retrograde storm. And February is usually the calendar month when the first Mercury retrograde transit takes place. Now, offhand, I do not recall if Mercury is retrograding right now, because I am aware that there are several other planets retrograding right now, and I'm more focused on them. So I feel like this card is also saying, these 3 cards are saying that right now there's a lot of conflict and tension and stress. You might be the cause, either because you're letting other people run slipshod over you, or you're not seeing the truth about a situation. And then we have the 10 of Cups, which is saying that we're going from conflict and strife, internal and external, to peace and prosperity. And then we have the Page of Swords that is saying, re-examine and reevaluate what you want, what you have, what you want to do, and what you need to do. Okay. So, cards 4 through 6, the heart, the emotional trajectory of this issue. The issue being, what does the collective need to know right now? And potential for healing. So the emotional trajectory of this issue, meaning what does the collective need to know right now, and the potential for healing that issue. And how will you feel, and how can you respond? We have the Eight of Swords. We have the Tower, the centralmost card, by the way. And we have the Seven of Swords. So here's what I find interesting. Two Swords cards come out for the heart section, for the heart row. Swords relate to one's state of mind. So what are your thoughts that are influencing your emotions? What are your thoughts that are affecting your emotions? Now, I have never been one of those people that thinks that positive thinking is the way to go. I mean, yes, positive thinking absolutely makes a difference. But I started evolving my positive thinking to prosperity thinking. And Apollo, I love you, but I need you to come off the table. And Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person from my YouTube videos, I need Drake to wrangle the cats, please. Drake, could you please? Thank you, Drake. Drake is multitasking, and sometimes he needs to pay attention to what's going on. But I digress. Anyway, like I was saying, so now more than ever, I live my life by a specific passage that can be found in several of Catherine Ponder's prosperity books, which goes, "You are prosperous to the degree that you are experiencing peace, health, and plenty in your world." So with that, I say to you, where are you willing to begin allowing peace, health, and plenty into your world and into your heart? And by extension, into your relationships, into the relationships with the people that you do not want to smack the shit out of every 5 seconds. Your beloved, your spouse, your life partner, the friends that always get you every time no matter what, the co-workers that are a joy to work with and work for. And of course, the neighbors that always look out for you and your home and your best interests and your animals. Now, I love the Tower card, and I'll tell you why. The Tower card is a reminder that pretending that the falling tower is not happening is not serving your best needs. I've often interpreted this card as with an expression. When God wants to give us a message, he tickles us with a feather. If we don't listen, he hits us with a brick. The Tower card is God's way of saying, okay, bitch, I'm done waiting for you to hear me, so now I'm going to take this wheelbarrow, fill it with cinder blocks, and I'm going to dump it on your block-ass head, and I'm not even going to bother saying, look out below. That's my interpretation of the Tower card. And notice, the Tower card is the central-most card. So, I say to you, what thoughts are you ignoring? What thoughts, what mental images are affecting your emotions that you are ignoring? And what thoughts can you cultivate so that you can empower yourselves to be more in a place of love and healing, number one, and number two, to love yourselves more and experience more joy in all of the areas of your lives. And now cards 7 through 9, the hands. Cards 7 through 9, the hands, the physical, the body. The real world actions for us to take and issues related to our bodies. What should you do and how will you be impacted? And we have strength, very interesting. King of Cups, also interesting. And the Ace of Cups, very, very interesting. Okay, let me start with the Strength card. So remember, every major arcana card corresponds to a sign in the Western Zodiac, Aries through Pisces inclusive. The Strength card, not surprisingly, is astrologically aligned with the sun sign Leo. What does Leo rule in Western astrology? The heart and the spine. So, with regards to your hands, with regards to your physical body, this is an advice that's saying take better care of your heart, your physical heart, as well as your energetic heart, your heart chakra, and also take better care of your back. Now, I feel it is imperative that I preface this I actually also continue by saying that, because I've prefaced it, I would have said it beforehand. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a medical intuitive. So this is not me saying you need to take better care of your heart. Or this is not me saying you need to do this exercise for your spine. This is me saying consult with a cardiologist and or a chiropractor to help you, and also do your research, do your due diligence, and get as much information as possible. One of my favorite things to do, because even though I take medication for different things, I like doing things as naturally as possible. So, because taking care of my heart is very important, there are certain foods that I eat more of because they have heart healing properties. There are certain herbs that I consume more often because of their heart healing properties. There are certain things that I do not consume because of their heart harming properties. And there are certain things that I make sure that I do for myself, like get regular checkups, see my doctor if I have a problem, all of those things. And I also know that, and I'm also grateful for the fact that in spite of being 56 years of age, I do not have back problems. I cannot tell you how many people I have met who are half my age, who are even younger than half my age, who have back problems. So I am very happy and very thankful and very fortunate that at the age of 56, I have no back problems. So that being said, do what you need to do for yourself to take better care of your physical heart, your physical spine, your chakras, especially your heart chakra, and the chakras all along your spine as well. And then, of course, there is the heart's wisdom. There is your heart, your physical heart, and your heart chakra that's saying, hey, let's not pursue this relationship because we're getting a bad vibe, because that person has hella bad juju. Some of you need to listen. I'm just telling you. I still remember a meme that I saw 2 years ago. God sends you your exes to see if you're still stupid. Guess what? I never see my exes. Why? Because me no stupid. Okay? I don't see these motherfuckers. I don't see them a damn time. No. And some of them live in the same city in which I live, and I never see them. Even when I leave my apartment to go out, I never see them. Why? Because me no stupid. How many of you see your exes all the damn time? And they keep coming back. And you keep letting them come back. King of Cups. How many of you are not drinking enough water? Enough tea? Consuming enough fruits and vegetables? Remember, fruits and vegetables are an excellent source of hydration. And some are excellent, even more excellent sources of hydration. Cucumbers, for example. Cucumbers are fabulous for hydration. I had a client who, she and her husband were so committed to having healthier physical hearts that one of the things that they did was they would take a glass pitcher and fill it with filtered water, cucumber slices, and strawberries. It was so delicious. It was so delicious. And it was perfect. It was like one of the best natural diuretics I have ever consumed. If you are, and that is something to consider, especially for those of you who experience water retention. Again, consult with the appropriate medical professional. And I would say even a nutritionist with regards to the cucumber and strawberries and filtered water. And that's somebody eating wet food, so they're hydrating as well. Sounds like Apollo, but I digress. And of course, the King of Cups is also saying spend time in nature, because that's very physically cleansing as well as emotionally and spiritually and mentally cleansing as well. And then we have the Ace of Cups. You know, the Ace of Cups traditionally corresponds to the date of the summer solstice, although for those of you who live in the southern hemisphere, it might be the winter solstice for you. But given that I live in New Jersey in the United States, which is in the northern hemisphere, I'm going to say, for me, the summer solstice. So, and yes, I am already looking forward to my beach days come this summer. The dates have not been established yet, but they're coming. They are coming. And it's funny because the one person I've been going to the beach with for the last few years, we have been going to the same restaurant before we head back. The restaurant is fabulous. Great prices, amazing service, delicious food, and wondrous cappuccino. It's an Italian restaurant, and let me tell you, we never leave dissatisfied. We leave very happy. So there you go. And the final message card is the Six of Swords. This is a card that I have been interpreting for several years as the ending of confusion and anxiety being replaced by clarity and illumination, mental as well as spiritual. It was an honor and a pleasure to cast the cards on behalf of the collective, and I, of course, want to thank Llewellyn Publications for publishing yet another Llewellyn's Tarot Calendar. 2027 is already available for pre-order. I will include a link in the description box. Hello, Sekhmet. See, now you can come over here. Was that you making all that ruckus? I thought it was your brother. Isn't that interesting? And of course, I want to thank Richard Harrington for taking over the publication of the Insight Spreads and Tips for the Barbara Moore. And of course, I want to thank Deborah Blake for writing the book for not only the Everyday Witch Tarot, but the Everyday Witch's Oracle and the Everyday Witch's Familiars Oracle. And of course to Elizabeth Alba for illustrating the cards of all three of these decks, the Everyday Witch Tarot, the Everyday Witch Oracle, and the Everyday Witch's Familiars Oracle. And of course to all of you in YouTube land, thank you so much for all the likes, comments, shares, and subscriptions to my YouTube channel. And an extra big and beautiful thank you to those of you who have already scheduled your sessions. And of course, Sekhmet and I, and of course Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audio-visual person for my YouTube videos, will pan the camera so that we can say goodbye, so that all of you can say goodbye to Sekhmet. As I say to all of you in YouTube land, stay in tune with your intuition, stay safe, stay well, stay hydrated, and stay tuned for the next video. Isn't that right, Sekhmet? Yes, indeed.